Hello, students. Let us today have a look on the question answers or notes of the lesson The Gardener. I have taken some important questions and we will discuss the answers. Is it a significant factor that the old man came to the garden after walking hundreds of miles? What is the significance of the phrase hundreds of miles? The narrator learns from the old man that he had come to that garden after he had walked hundreds of miles. Hundreds of miles here means not exactly the distance, hundreds of miles. It means he had left so many things far behind before he came to that garden. This fact becomes significant because when he left his place, his intention was to die, but once he came there, the coconut grove and the place probably convinced him that he could live there comfortably. Moreover, before reaching this place, he may have received the news of Basavaya's death and must have realized that life or death had no meaning for him. This transformation in his mindset may have prompted him to settle there. Next one. Why did the owner's wife start worrying about the strange ways of her husband? When her husband changed his routine or when he stopped working hard, his wife naturally started worrying about him. The owner of the coconut plantation was quite normal. He was working hard to bring about improvement in his earnings. Probably he had little expertise in managing agricultural workers. Therefore, he was looking for someone who would help him. That is why, the moment he spoke to the old man, Tamanna, he felt that he had got the kind of man he wanted. His expectations proved right, and the old man helped him in every way and solved all the problems, which eventually resulted in increase in his income. Once his worries disappeared and he had hardly any work to engage himself in, his personal attention went towards acquiring property and social prestige. It is quite natural that with social prestige also follow certain vices, among which adultery was one. Adultery affects any woman. All along, her husband had been faithful to her, and once his wife came to know that he was spending money and time with other women, she got seriously worried. She found it hard to decide whether the arrival of the old man had done good or bad. When did the old man decide to narrate the story? The old man, who had settled there in the coconut plantation for good, had watched the activities of the owner. Initially, the owner used to show interest in improving his plantation. Once the old man had solved all the problems, the owner had plenty of leisure time and he became lazy. Secondly, he had more money, which led him to expand his plantation. Then he had turned his gaze towards acquiring property and social prestige. Then he cultivated certain vices, among which adultery was one. One day He saw the owner's wife in the plantation. He saw her looking worried. He guessed that her husband's activities had given her the worries. Therefore, when he saw her in the plantation, he thought he should narrate his own story and try to caution her about her husband. He had understood the way he faced ups and downs in our life. By doing so, he probably thought that she might be able to convince her husband about his mistakes and set his life right. Next one. What unique strategy did Tamanna conceive to annihilate Basvaya? As we all know, when Basvaya acquired 200 acres of Tamanna's land illegally or forcibly, when he encroached his 200 acres of land, the followers of Tamanna gave him so many suggestions. Some suggested to go to police, and some suggested that there are so many people who could, you know, beat or use violence against Basvaya, and they can acquire or they can get the land back. But Tamanna wanted something that could annihilate Basvaya completely, that could stop this unhealthy competition, that could destroy Basvaya completely. And what was that strategy? When Tamanna came to know that Basvaya had forcibly acquired 200 acres of his land, he could not tolerate this invasion. Though his supporters explained him all the means available to him, he was not satisfied with them because he knew that sooner or later Basavaya would again try to outdo him by hook or by crook. Tamanna did not want Basavaya to trouble him again. So he hit upon a unique plan. He took recourse to singing ballads and telling the people through them about the cruelty and the meanness of Basavaya. Tamanna thought this is the only field where Tamanna could not compete with him. In acquiring property, in acquiring friends, in acquiring land, in all these things, Basavaya was competing with him in an unhealthy manner, which had made both of them rivals. So, to stop this rivalry, Tamanna thought of choosing some other field, that was singing ballads, and through those ballads, he wanted to tell all the people in and around village the cruelty and meanness of Basvaya. This way, he thought he could annihilate him completely. Remaining questions we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.